Hi everyone, this is the third video I'm doing on area, and it's a way of working out area really quickly and easily, and it's going to let us do some quite complicated things. So one of the really useful things that area is really useful for is planning rooms and buildings. Now, I am a big fan of Harry Potter. I've been watching the films, I've been playing the cards game while we're on lockdown, and so I've got a bit of a problem-solving activity to do with Harry Potter. So I've been given this space in the school grounds in Hogwarts, and I'm going to plan out the new building. And what we're going to do is we're going to use area to work that out. Now the building isn't that big, but I'm going to try and make the most of the space. So it's 14 metres wide, and I've measured that using centimetres on my ruler, just to make it easy for planning. So each centimetre is 1 metre. And then I'm going to use the lines down here, assume that they are 1 metre each as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 8 metres. So this is the size of the space that I've been given and I'm going to plan. Now I think I'm going to have my door here, and I'm going to show the door like this. I can also put it outwards just to show that there is a door there. Now I need a corridor, so it's really important, but I think I want a room here first of all. I'm thinking, what type of rooms do I need? So I'm going to use a storage room. So I'm going to measure here, and I'm going to measure along 5, and then I think I'm going to make it it's going to be quite a narrow storage room, so I'm going to make it 3 metres tall. And I'm going to label it as storage, and let's label the size. So I've got 3 metres here, and it's 5 metres across. Because I've got a rectangle, I don't need to label every side, because of course these sides are the same. Now, how do I work out then the area of it? Now, previously we worked out the area by counting squares on squared paper, but I don't have any squares, and so I need a quicker way of working out the area. Now, luckily with rectangles, there's a really easy way, and it's using multiplication. And what we do is we do length times the width. So I do 5 times 3, which is 15, and because I'm working in metres, area is measured in metres squared, which means metres times metres. And if we have a look here, that's where it comes from. I've times the 3 by the 5 to get the 15. Metres times metres gives me metres squared. So that's the size of that room. Now, I think we're going to need some sort of classroom. So let's extend this room here. I need the classroom to be quite big. So I've made it 7 metres wide, so it's 7 centimetres, because we're saying that every centimetre is 1 metre. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 5 metres long there. So I've got 7 times 5 is 35, and I'm working metres times metres, gives me metres squared. So I can see the area of that room is 35 metres square, and that is the classroom. Now, what type of things am I going to have in my Hogwarts as well? I think I'm going to need animal storage, because we've got magical creatures that we're going to use. So we need some sort of magical creature. Now, I've got to think, where's the door going to be here? Well, I want one door here to get into the classroom, but I also want to be able to get into the magical creatures room. So let's make this room, I'm going to make this room here just to make it a bit more interesting, because things in Hogwarts aren't nice and straight today, so they're more interesting. And I'm going to make sure I put a door here as well. So let's measure this. Well, if you look at it, I don't need to measure it. Can you work out what that is? Well, if the whole length is 14 and this room is 7, this must also be 7, because 7 and 7 is 14. Let's measure across. So I've got 7 here again. And do I need to measure here? I've got 5 here, I've got 1 more. So I know this size is 4 metres. So this room, 7 times 4, easy way to times by 4 is double and double it again, is 28, and metres times metres gives me metres squared. And that's my magical creatures. That's where they're kept. Now, sometimes accidents happen, and Madame Pomfrey in Hogwarts needs somewhere to work. So why don't we make a nurse's room here? So I'm going to make this 4 metres wide. And I'm going to draw up here to make this room. And it's actually 4 metres by 4 metres. And that makes sense here because if the whole building's 8 metres long, this is 4 add 4. So 4 times 4 is 16 metres squared. And this is where the nurse is located. So there I've got my basic plan for the new building in Hogwarts. I've been learning all about area there by, remember, it's length times width. And there's one more area that I haven't worked out. And I wonder if you can spot it. So the area I haven't worked out is the area of the whole building. Now this is a more complicated sum. It's 8 times 14. Now we know that the easiest way to do this is to partition 14. So if I do 8 times 10 is 80, and I've done the 10, I need to do the 4, 8 times 4. Now again, we know times in by 4, it's easiest to double it and double it again. So double 8 is 16, double it again is 32, and then all I've got to do then is add them together, which gives me 112 metres squared. So I know the whole building is 112 metres squared. Now there's this space in here. Now there's two ways I can work this out. I could either put an imaginary line here and work out the two buildings separately, or I can do a bit of subtraction. Because I know what all these buildings are, the area is, and I know that the total is going to make 112. So let's see what these 4 add up to. Easiest way, I'm going to use the column method. So I'm going to do 35, add 15, add 28, add 16. This is where you've got to be really careful with your carrying when you're exchanging numbers in your addition. So 5 and 5 is 10, 8 and 6 is 14, altogether it's 24. 3 add 1 is 4, add 2 is 6, add 1 is 7, add another 2 tens is 9, so 94 metres squared. So I've got 94 altogether. How much more do I need to get to 112? Well, let's count up. I'm going to add 6 to get to 100. And then I'm going to add another 12 to get to 112. Altogether, I've added 18. So this space in here must be 18 metres squared. And I can check that if I'd like. I could add up all of the numbers and they should come to 112. So there's a really good way of using area. Now you're going to start off pretty simply just by working out length times width to work out the area of rectangles, but before you'll know it, you'll be able to work out plans like this and plans in really interesting buildings. So I hope you enjoy.